Guys, my name is Butterbrick Studios, and today we're going to be taking a look at my LEGO Transformers movie Ratchet version 2. As you can see, he turns into the green ambulance mode from the movie. I think the proportions are a bit wonky, but that's all that I could really do. He's mainly hollow, so he compacts a lot in robot mode. I made a version 1 of this guy about a year ago, which is pretty cool, but not as good as this. You can see he has lots of details. You got the front bumper area, which looks pretty good. Got roof lights. Roof rack up here. It's got dark blue windows everywhere. It's covered in green with a bunch of gray spots everywhere. That's because certain pieces I can't get in green, or they're really hard to find in green. Yeah, I don't have many green parts, so he can't be all smooth like my other figures, but he looks pretty good. And if you were tuned in on my live interview yesterday, I believe, I showed this guy off, a little sneak peek on MasterFar's YouTube channel. Go check him out. The arm is drooping right now, which is kind of annoying. Why are you doing this? It doesn't roll that well. The wheels tend to get caught on things, and for some reason this arm keeps flopping down. It hasn't done that before, which is making me angry. But yeah, it's a pretty solid vehicle mode. Actually, I wouldn't say solid. It's very meh put together. It's got a big gap in here. You can see the front is all very compact. Lots of studs, anti-studs. Not as much smoothness as I would like, but that's all I could get with what I have. And the green isn't showing up that well on camera. Yeah, very gappy, not that solid vehicle mode, but it's the best that I can do with the green I have. Now, let's get into size comparisons. Hoist, Grapple, and Optimus Prime. As you can see, he is a little bigger than a Deluxe, but not quite a Voyager size. I think he'd probably be a Deluxe class mainly because of all the empty space in here, which makes him look a lot bigger than he actually is. And I just noticed I'm missing a piece in here that is on the other side, a little vent piece. Yeah, pretty good. Really like the way he turned out. Really wish I could fix up the gaps and get more green, but other than that, he's pretty good. And let's get into transformation. So basically what you're going to want to do is kind of just try and separate him. He holds together in many different places. I'd start with the back here. Open that up and then pull apart these feet here. These will become the leg. And this will rotate downwards. This will hinge up. And I will have to raise my camera. I want to move these apart. Try not to get the feet to fall off. These will rotate, untab, rotate, slide, and then fold up like that. Then I'm just gonna twist that and move. Of course it doesn't work when I'm recording. But this moves up. Then back here you're gonna want to hinge this in and then slide it up a bit. That just grants him more knee articulation. Then you're gonna want to do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And then up here, I'm gonna rotate this section. And there you have most of the lower half of the torso done. Now for the upper half, you're gonna want to pull these out. These will be the arms. Try not to make them fall apart when you're doing this. Yeah, pull out the arms. You're gonna want to try and angle at least one of them so that you can rotate it. This is a pretty difficult part. Bring this part up, bring up the head, hinge this back. It's very difficult because there's a lot of clearance issues, but if you get it just right, you should be able to rotate the torso around, and that will collapse down, and this part will tab into the waist, solidifying him. And now you should be left with these two arm assemblies and a lot of junk hanging off the back. For the arms, you're just going to want to, up here, it's really hard, but you got to rotate this around, like so. This will also rotate. A lot of rotating I'm seeing here. Hinge that. I'm going to bring this around while also turning it. Let's go like that. And then this piece just come over here and settle in around the top. You can adjust. You can just adjust that top section to however you like. Nothing really locks in up there. And there you have the completed arm. Again, you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And now we're going to finish up with the back. Hold this, rotate the head, and that will sit down in there. These pieces, you're going to want to hinge them around. And then hinge them back up like that. Make sure these arm bracket pieces are as high as possible for this move, where you're gonna bring these wheels over and they'll settle into that little groove in between this plate and the rest of the body. And that should fit together pretty easy. Then you can just bring down the shoulders and rest them on the wheels. And finally, rotate this and just accordion it up onto the back. And here we have Movie Ratchet in his robot mode. Now this has to be my favorite mode. I kind of based this off of the movie Masterpiece figure. When it came out, I saw that was pretty cool. It inspired me to make this. I originally tried to get these lights to be the actual roof lights, but I couldn't get that to work in the long run. And also the legs are just made up of roof rack, but I've hinged it around to kind of break it up a bit, make it just look like robot detail. He is very dense in this torso area. There's a lot of hinges compacted in there. But I think I did a better job with the backpack than on my original version, which again I made a year ago. It had a lot more back kibble and it was in weird places and I didn't like it. But now you have this one. I feel like the arms could have been longer, but that's more of a minor complaint rather than anything else. Getting a close-up of that head, it becomes obvious that I didn't design this. This head design was taken directly from Arnobliss 98. He made a really good Ratchet, which also helped inspire this one. And I kind of just stole the head sculpt design from him. Might leave his channel linked in the description. I'm not sure if I'm lazy or not. But yeah, he's pretty well detailed. The only thing that falls off really is this bar in there. He has a bit of posability. Starting with the head, he's on a T-joint so he can look up, down, left, and right with a full 360. His looking up is limited by this hinge back here, but it's no big deal. The shoulders, you can move these hinges, but that's more for transformation. Got a ball joint, which is fairly limited by all the kibble around it. You can move it pretty good. Up here we have kind of another shoulder joint. It can kind of turn, but it's very unstable and I don't use it that much. Got a bend here, then here at the elbow you got a sideways bend, and it can also hinge up like so. Nothing at the torso or the waist. You can move the legs forward that far and back that far. 90-degree bend at the knee. Lots of ankle posability because of this double hinge there. And then a ankle tilt, which goes pretty far. So he ends up being pretty stable, and you can get him into a few poses, but his top heaviness kind of makes him tip over a lot, and these feet often fall off because they're only on a stud for connection, which can cause some insecurities, but you can get him into some poses. Now let's get into size comparisons. Here we have Hoist, Grapple, and Optimus Prime. So in robot mode, he still is in that in-between Deluxe and Voyager area, which seems to be an area where most of my LEGO Transformers fit in between Deluxe and Voyager. I often hear the term Deloyager to refer to larger Deluxes such as Hoist. I'm thinking of soon changing up my my size comparison figures because now they're outdated. I'm going to be updating them with some Kingdom figures once I get my hands on a few more. So stay tuned for that. And with that out of the way, I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.